tense and shit. Touring around the world, we performing our hits. Yeah, we lit. Limo tense and shit. Got your bitch in the back, cause nigga, we bout it. Yeah, we lit. Limo tense and shit. Touring around the world, we performing our hits. Yeah, we lit. Limo tense and shit. Got your bitch in the back, cause nigga, we.
There's a lot of English speech in this here episode of Hiphop High School, and that's because sometimes you just get a mail from someone named Casanova Rud, and the record's called Limo, and you've just been listening to it. And then you also have the chance to talk to not only Casanova Rud, but Tom Savage as well. Good evening, gentlemen.
How's it going?
How are you all doing?
I'm doing good, doing good. Great.
Okay, we're going to have to be really careful that we don't talk, through each other. So I don't think that's even correct English, but you all know what I'm saying. So, Tom, this was your song, right? Limo.
No, actually, it was a part of my son and I, with me and my father, Casanova Rud. It was actually his idea, but. We came along together and we did this together,
Okay, so what is that like, Tom, to work with your father in the first place, and also your father being a hip-hop legend from the days of old and still going strong when it comes to hip-hop?
Oh, I can't even say it. Like, it's really crazy. It's like working with somebody I look up to. It's like working with... It could have been Jay-Z. It could have been Nas. It's the same feeling, man. Because he really holds a good spot in this hip hop history. He don't really know it. He knows it, but it really affects me in my work. It makes me create expectations and goals for myself. So it's crazy. It's out of the world. The fact that he's my father, my mentor, best friend, and we just doing this thing together. It's crazy.
I believe that are some very nice words to hear. I'm shifting both of the telephones now, because if I've got them both open, then you're all going to go hear historical noises. We don't want that. But let me then put the question to you, Casanova Rud. What is it like to work with your son, and how is he progressing, and how is the music business nowadays different than when you were in it?
Well, working with my son, I couldn't ask for something. More and be blessed more, because how many people actually get to work with their children in anything, and having their children even want to work with you in the first place,
And exactly.
I never really pushed him to do music. He picked it up on his own, and it just happened that over the last 2 years or so, he developed a knack for lyricism and formulating songs, just messing around with his friends in home studios and whatnot. And he came to me and said that he wanted to record his first song with me, to sound professional. Came out great, and I said, you need to take it seriously. And he said, I already am. And this is where we're at now. We're a year and a half later, and it's releasing his first single on my first venture in a record company. So, I couldn't be more blessed with working with him. And the way, the music is now, and the way the industry is now, you have more control of your own situation. It's not dictated by a company. And, it seems like, you have more control and you have more creative input, and you don't really have anything impeding you or holding you back. But there's a lot of other people also doing the same thing. So people get caught up and lost in the shuffle of everybody. It's oversaturated with a lot of stuff. So it's a little harder, but you're better off in control of your own situation.
So, to you once again, Casanova, how do you experience the freedom that you have nowadays to write your own songs and to do things your own way in when working with record labels? Does that also spark your imagination?
Well, you see, there's no obstacle, there's no hurdles to overcome, because you're not being censored. And you're not being told, to keep it in a certain feel or mood, because a lot of these companies don't want to deal with violence or talking about certain topics. They want you to veer away from that. But see, when you're doing your own thing, you can just expand whatever creativity, whatever thoughts that you want to get off your chest, and you can put it out at any point you want. You can put it out 2, 3, 4 songs in a row in a week. But when you're with a record company, there's a deadline. sometimes your stuff don't come out for 2-3 years, and it just inhibits you as an artist. It slows you down, and it impedes your progress. So when you're doing your own thing and no one's telling you what to do, and you have a template in front of you that you follow for yourself, and you know how to go about making songs, you can make as many as you want and make a difference your own way without being told how to do it.
Yeah, that actually sounds splendid. Going back to you, Tom, knowing that you have more freedom than you had back in the day, and I cannot imagine you didn't talk about this with your father. What is the type of thing that you want to do in the future? I think Tom has left the building.
Tom. Well, if you can give him a call back, I can maybe answer that for you.
Yeah. Well, we can't call him back if we're halfway through the interview, so that's kind of a problem. Well, unfortunately, we lost Tom in the telephone conversation. We haven't lost Tom, as a person, so that's a good thing. Casanova, you probably talked about that with Tom Savage. How does he feel about the freedom he has now, and what are the type of topics that he's going to address in the near future?
Well, with him, he's like the new wave of hip hop, but he also has a conscious element about him. Like, he talks about events going on or just issues that, through metaphor that youngins don't really talk about. Because, it seems like a lot of times now that it's all about flash, cash, scantily clad women, but he's really talking about, growing up young, having, pressure on you, dealing with, drugs around you, and he puts it through a catchy style because it's very intricate, and his delivery is very complex, and it makes you want to listen closely to catch what he's saying, because he does have something to say. And I think that he has mutual respect for the old school style of stuff, because just because of my influence on him as well with that. So he respects the old and he incorporates the new, and I think his sound will have both of those intertwined, especially with me involved. And on my label, it's called Recondition Records. So we're actually trying to recondition the way we think the modern image is now, and we want to touch topics that are also forgotten. It's just like going out partying every day. You have to get back to work at some point, and that's what we're trying to do.
So, when you say that, have you already been, writing with him, and have you already been talking to him about what topics you're going to discuss? And are there really any taboos left nowadays?
Are there any? I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last part of that question. Are there anything?
Are there any taboos left nowadays?
Oh, the way the world is now, there's nothing that you shouldn't be able to talk about, because there's so many things that are overlooked, so many issues omitted. We need to see, another way how to think, another option, another path to follow, because it seems like hip-hop, and I'm just looking at that in a musical format at the moment, but it branches out much more than just music. I mean, it transcends to all races, all cultures, and it's about being involved with humanity and humanizing yourself with other people and understanding people's needs, and not always being consumed with greed and worrying about me, and I got this and you don't have that. And it seems like all the music is geared on trying to compete with each other, when we actually should be uplifting each other, and that's what's needed in these times, and that's what we're trying to do. And me and my son together, when we make songs, we're both separate entities. He's Tom Savage, I'm Casanova Rud, but together we're called My Son and I, and we talk about issues like I Need. We have a song called I Need that you can listen to on our SoundCloud. Just go Casanova Rud SoundCloud, and you can see it right there. It talks about, how much I need this person, talking about my son and talking about my family and talking about just, the human race, what we're doing wrong. And we put it in a way that is hip-hop. It's not like just teaching you something. It's like helping you think about things, and it's through music.
Yeah, and that has always been, of course, the idea of hip-hop, to let people think about what they're doing and think about society. One good thing, Casanova, is that we probably have Tom back on the line. Are you there, Tom?
I'm here. What's up?
Oh, good. Yeah, we lost you there for a sec. No problem there. I've been talking with your father about which way you're going in the new future and what kind of topics you will be discussing. And there's, as we just talked about with Casanova Rud, still a lot of taboos. What taboos do you see that you want to address in your next coming songs?
I feel like the taboos that I should express in the next couple of songs I'm release. It's just the regular everyday life. I feel like people, they don't express their personal issues as much in music as they should. It's more as violence, women, money, drugs. It's more than that. You know, it's when you dig deeper and you find something more, self-conscious, and it's more valuable when you express it in your songs that way. You know, so I feel like I'm gonna express a lot of the childhoods of young boys growing up and how I had to go through it, and just a couple of struggles of what I go through on a daily basis and how I'm coping with it, and how I'm managing myself so I can gear towards success. It's just, a couple of things that I think people should hear. Not too many big topics that, a lot of people will recognize, but just a lot of stuff that people need to hear,
Yeah, what I hear from it at the moment, it is setting a good example and wanting people to, follow that example, make something of their life without actually addressing certain topics, just saying, there's another way of doing things. And it's not all the, fake world of bling and cars and money.
Yeah, exactly. You get my point, get my drift. You know where I'm going with it.
Just bringing hip-hop back to peace, love, and unity.
Okay.
What are your next coming projects, Tom?
Besides, I don't know if he spoke to you about my son and I as an overall project. It's a project and it's a group. We're a duo, my son and I, with Casanova Rud, Tom Savage, together, my son and I. But it's also a project, my son and I, that we're working on currently. It's in the works. We don't know the exact date when it will release, but it's in the progress. We're working on it. But other than that, I'm working on a couple of EPs, 7 Deadly Sins and Elevation, and I'm working on my mixtape, Savage. I'm just working right now, piling up the portfolio, getting this archive ready, because, my birthday, I don't know if he told you, but this video for camera on my SoundCloud, well, it's off SoundCloud.
Yeah.
This video for camera is coming out very soon. Day after my birthday, the video's coming out. It's going to be big.
Now there's a birthday present.
Armageddon. Yeah, that's a birthday present. Early, too.
Unfortunately, we have to go on with the show. Thank you very much for having this conversation. Somewhere along the way, we lost the telephone line to your father. So, telephone-wise, it's not been a very good interview, but, at least we got to talk to you. We know you're all working, and please keep us posted of anything new that you put out.
For sure.
Okay, thank you very much for talking to us, Tom Savage.
Thank you very much. You guys have a good one.
Yeah. And in the meantime, we are going to be listening to some of your father's work, A Legend by Casanova Rud.